Well, we put that behind us this summer, and we had our entire team here this summer. We got a lot of guys that are going to contribute. They're new, and so we really enjoyed last year. It was fun. What a great group that we had. 2 championships in 3 years, and we just allowed that to sink in and really enjoy it in the spring. But once summer got here, June got here, we put that behind us and getting back to work for a new year.
A little more.
Well, with recruiting, we feel like our coaches have done a great job of bringing talented guys in here, and some guys that were good enough to play last year just didn't have the opportunity because of the age of the starters. We were older, and so we're going to have an opportunity. We're going to have an opportunity for some guys to step up, and then we feel like we've added some really important pieces of the puzzle that can be very good.
Who are those guys who are on your radar who should maybe be on ours?
Well, our lone returning starter is Aaron Wheeler, and if you look back on what he did and how he contributed last year, had an incredible junior season. Statistically, at times he didn't stand out, but he's probably the best perimeter rebounder in the Big South. He's a great defender. He's a terrific leader, and he'll have more offensive opportunities. And then we feel like we got some guys that were with us last year. They're going to have an opportunity to step up. Javis Howard is a highly recruited young man that is going to have a super year. And Wesley Johnson has had as good a fall as any post player since I've been the head coach here. So we're anticipating that he can step up. Danny Upchurch is a terrific returning point guard that you got the Big South Player of the Year ahead of you, and he really didn't have an opportunity to show what he can do. And then we feel like we've added some pieces of the puzzle. Demetrius Pollard was a starter at Northeastern, is a veteran 5th-year senior who knows how to play. He's been in big games, won championships, and he'll have a chance to be one of the better players in the Big South. And Patrick Wallace is a transfer from NC State. He's the best shooter we've ever had here. We've never had a guy have the ability to shoot the ball like that. And Ugo is a transfer from Cleveland State or from Chattanooga State, and he's just a terrific all-around player. And we just feel like we've added some really nice pieces of the puzzle. Melvin Brooks is a young man that originally committed to Air Force Academy and changed his commitment late, and we got him out of Fort Lauderdale, and he's going to be an important piece of the puzzle. So we feel real good where we are. It's our deepest team by a long shot. We feel like we got 10 or 11 guys that can really play, and we're excited to get started.
Could you imagine just life without Son Nimley and Arlon Harper? I mean, it seems like they've made the program what it is. I mean, yeah. Could you imagine starting practice without Sa and Arlon?
Yeah, I've all day I've been trying to get the box score out of Lithuania. Sa had his first game last night, and so I've been checking that website almost hourly to see how he did. Yeah, we love Sa and Arlon and Paul and those guys, and Will's playing at a very high level and over in Europe and made the Great Britain national team. And but one of the advantages that the NCAA gave us was 3 or 4 years ago, they allowed us to start practicing in the summer. And so we had our entire team here for the whole month of June and the whole month of July. So we got all that good Sa Nimley and good Arlon Harper stuff out of our system in June and really started to develop a new chemistry and a new way of playing, a different way of playing. And we've been really excited about it.
I'd assume motivation isn't very hard when you're opening up with like Wichita State, Stanford, yeah. Arkansas, and Florida State or something in a week.
Yeah, I've looked around to fire the scheduling coach. I've said that several times, and then I was reminded that was me, so I rehired the scheduling coach. It's a difficult schedule, and quite frankly, it's the one that the success of the previous teams have given us. It's very difficult to schedule games now at Charleston Southern, both because of our success here in the Buck Dome, and then quite frankly, there's some schools that won't play us. So our schedule is very difficult. We're participating in the preseason NIT, which is a big honor, but has made our schedule very difficult. But we're really talking about our schedule being a positive. We'll be as battle tested as any mid-major in the country. The first 8 days, Wichita State, Stanford, and Arkansas. There won't be a mid-major in the country play a more difficult schedule than that early. And so we're going to turn our schedule into a positive and look forward to playing a very competitive schedule, which will get us ready for the Big South.
After sitting out last season, now you finally feel like a part of the team now. How different is that than watching the team's success last season?
It feels good just to be part of a family again. At Northeastern, we had a strong family bond, but here at Charleston Southern, I also feel a strong family bond. So I'm just happy to get the season started and ready to accomplish big things this year.
How do you find your way here? I mean, how does that happen? Obviously, you're in a conference with CFC, not CSU. How do you kind of find your way to the smaller school in the Big South?
Right. Well, networking basically. My friend knew somebody who kind of got in touch with Coach Murray, who was the coach here last year, and he kind of got in touch with me and came down here on a visit and really liked Charleston and the program, so I decided to come here.
You've played in some big arenas. Now you come to the Buck Dome. What are you kind of expecting of the 881 people on game night or whatever it is?
Well, I came when they played Radford, and it was packed. It was sold out, and it was just as loud as a stadium, just because you're closed in and there's so many people in a small place. So.
You haven't played in a Division I basketball game in a year. Kind of expectations for yourself this season? Do you feel like you've progressed tremendously? I mean, with the year off.
Well, I've been working out a lot, individually, and I had a teammate at Northeastern who also sat out with me. He helped me work out, rebound, and everything when I was in Boston. Came here during the summer, worked with my teammates like Aaron Wheeler, who you'll see later, and I'm just ready to get out there and perform.
What's it like to kind of pick up a leadership role when you've never actually been with the team? I mean, they're expecting you to do big things to, ultimately be a big scorer and a big leader. How hard is it to do that when you've never actually played with this team on the court in a game?
Well, like Coach said, we got to come here in June and July. So they've been able to gain my trust within those 2 months through the weight room, through workouts, through extra work, even extracurricular activities that we do outside of basketball, and just building relationships and things like that have helped.
Being the fifth-year senior, after this tough start, do you think there's going to be anything that you need to do as a leader to kind of pick the guys up after playing so many tough teams?
I think just through past experiences, I can kind of share knowledge with some of the younger players, just tell them what I've been through when times are going, because it's a long season, there's ups and downs, and just to help them out when there's a lot of downs to kind of.
Or a starter returning, you feel like you have to take up some of that leadership role that he carried last season?
Man, most definitely, because I've been in the Division I game, and some guys, they came from JUCO or they was freshmen, they didn't get a lot of exposure last year, so they don't really know, how the pace is or how it goes in Division I. So I feel like I can contribute in that way.
What is Bucs basketball? What is the kind of chemistry that you'll have here, the culture?
We're really fast paced and we shoot a lot of threes. That's what Coach Ray preaches about, but like I said, Demetrius said, we've been here June and July, so I know, Patrick Wallace, when I go to the lane, he's going to be in the corner ready for that three, or for instance, Jabbar, I know he's going to come around for a layup. So you just know, what different players do, and then that's what helps a lot.
You beat Ole Miss last year. How much does that kind of give you a little bit of confidence heading into this just brutal first week or two of the season?
It just lets you know that you can beat anybody. At the end of the day, we put on our gear and our shoes just like everybody else. It just comes down to hitting shots and rebounding. So that just gives us a reassurance, like we know we can beat these teams. We just got to go out there and play our A game.
Cutting down the nets last year, how thirsty does it make you to do it again?
Oh, yeah, definitely. You want to get back to it. But you also want to go to the main goal, which is the NCAA tournament. That's the main goal. We want to finish the job. We had a great year. I wasn't training for anything, but I'm trying to finish the job this year.
How excited are you for the it's probably your last year of college basketball, provided you don't get hurt and have to redshirt, but assuming that you do play the whole year.
Thanks for the positive outlook.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want to say it's your last year and then it's not your last year. I'm sure Demetrius thought he was done. But it's your final year of college basketball, and you're obviously very excited to be a leader on this team, but to start practice, and it begins for real now. What does that bring to you in terms of a competitive athlete?
It's kind of crazy, to be honest, to think that I've been in school 4 years and I'm a senior, especially on the basketball court. Time flies. But I'm just trying to not take any days for any practice for granted, and just push everybody every day and push myself.
Is there a level of excitement amongst the team that y'all get to start practice tomorrow? Have y'all a little bit more energy?
Oh, yeah, everybody's ready. Everybody got November 13th on their schedule. We're ready for Wichita State. That's what keeps in the back of our minds.